Hello everyone, welcome to Study Room. So today, as you know, we'll be starting with a new chapter which is, as the heading suggests, reproduction in animals. So let's begin with the chapter. Reproduction. What do you mean by reproduction? Reproduction is a very natural process, just like Darwin mentioned about his theory of natural selection. So natural selection and reproduction are interlinked, and reproduction is a very natural process. Reproduction keeps the species level, prevents the species level from getting extinct. So prevent from extinction. So if humans stop being reproducing, one day our species would become extinct. So it's a very dire need to reproduce. So reproduction is essential for the continuation of species. Just like I mentioned, it's continuation. It prevents us from getting extinct. It is very important process as it ensures the continuation of similar kinds of individual. So when we were studying species means any members of population interbreed, who interbreeds. So reproduction is a very important process, and it continues the existence of similar kind of individual. Similar kind of individual means has species which belong to a particular population, generation after generation. So your father's generation, your mother's generation, yours generation, by giving rise to offspring. There are two kinds of methods, sexual and asexual. We'll be starting with sexual method of reproduction or mode of reproduction. The type of reproduction beginning from the fusion of male and female gametes is sexual reproduction. So male gamete, I'm writing it Mg, when fuses with female gametes Fg, they make zygote. Zygote is a single cell organism. So in this process of sexual reproduction, a male and female gametes, or we can say reproductive cell, so other name of female gamete or male gamete is reproductive cell. So they fuse to form a single cell called zygote. This zygote develops when into an adult similar to their parents. So in the first slide we saw that it is a continuation of similar kinds of organisms. So your parents and we belong to similar species, which is Homo sapiens. So we humans are Homo sapiens. Homo is a genus and sapiens is a species. So sexual reproduction ensures that our sapiens are not getting extinct. So this is what reproduction is, when male and female gametes meet together to form zygote, which is a sexual mode of reproduction, and that zygote develops into an adult. Methods of modes of reproduction. Sexual reproduction is continued here, you can see, and it's depicted with the help of a diagram here. So the mode that grows from a zygote receives character of both parents, mother and female. So you can see female here, female, I'll write it down, female and male. So in humans we have 46 chromosomes. Chromosomes make us different from each other. There are slight differentiation in our chromosomes. So that is what we differ in our facial structure, in our genetic structure. So this all comes from chromosomes. So we acquire 23 pair of chromosomes from our mother, maternal sides, and 23 from our paternal side. So 23 from father, 23 from mother. So egg or ovum is female gamete. So egg we also called ovum, we receives 23 chromosomes from female, and sperm 23 chromosomes. Sperm is a male gamete. So from egg and sperm we receive 23, and they both fuses to make 46 zygote, and then the zygote develops into an adult. So here we can imagine this number as n, and here we can imagine this number as n. When they both fuses, they become 2n, and then 2n. So this is what sexual method of reproduction is, and here you can see with the help of chromosomes. Modes of what are the reproductive parts in sexual reproduction? So in humans, male and female reproductive organs are present in separate individual. So male have male gametes and female have female gametes. So Mg is male gametes, and Fg is female gametes. So in humans, male and female have separate organs in the separate individuals. So these organs produce the male and female gametes, which later fuses to form an offspring. Before offspring, we are zygote, which is a single cell organism. So now we'll be talking about male reproductive organ. So this is a picture of male reproductive organ. So we'll go one by one. So you can see here this small structure which is seminal vesicle. Then you can see urinary bladder which stores the urine. Bulbourethral gland. There are 3 glands in here. First one is bulbourethral gland. Vas deferens. Then we have corpus spongiosum, then we have epididymis, then we have testis which produces sperm, then we have glans penis which is the outer layer of the penis, outer layer. Corpus cavernosum, then we have urethra, then we have crux penis. So in males, sperm and urine both have a single opening. So male have a single evacuation channel. So we'll go. So I hope you remember now the different parts of the male reproductive organ. We have seminal vesicle, we have urinary bladder, we have bulbourethral gland, we have vas deferens, corpus spongiosum, epididymis, testis, glans penis, corpus cavernosum, urethra, and crux penis. So when you will be asked to make a label diagram of male reproductive, you have to make this particular diagram. So male reproductive organs have a pair of testes. You can see in the last picture. So here are 2 pairs of testes, and we have a sperm duct and we have a penis. So sperms are the male gametes. Sperm we talked about in the sexual mode of reproduction. Sperm are the male gametes which are produced in the testes, which are 2 in number, located outside of the body. So testes are located outside the male body. It's not present inside, just like in females. The female gametes are present inside the body, but in males they are present outside. The sperm ducts carry sperm from testis to the penis. From testis, the penis is used for ejecting sperms and also passing urine. So this was all about male reproductive organs. So you have to remember there are a pair of testes, means 2 testes, a sperm ducts. Sperm are male reproductive gametes, and a penis. So sperm duct carries penis from the testes to the sperm to the main opening, which is present in the penis, and penis is used for ejaculating sperm and also urine. Just like I mentioned, it's a single opening. Sperm, now we'll be talking about specifically about sperm. Sperm are very small in size, and each has a head, a middle piece, and a tail. So there are 3 segregatory parts of the sperm. Each of them is single celled with usual cell components. The tail in sperm helps in the movement. So when we'll be seeing the picture of a sperm, then you'll see why importance of tail. The tail in sperm helps in movement of the sperm to reach the ovum in female sex organ. So this is a picture. So 3 parts: head, middle piece, and then tail. So tail, it's tail, not tail at all. It's tail. So head we have in head we have 2 parts. So I mentioned that we receive 23 pairs of chromosomes from our father. So where are these 23 pair of chromosomes stored? It's stored in head. Head has acrosome, contains digestive enzyme which fuses with the female gamete organs and helped in the fusion of male and female gametes. So we have acrosomes and we have nucleus which contains 23 pair of chromosomes. Then we have collar. Collar means it contains mitochondria. It helps the sperms and it gives them energy. And tail is like flagella. So flagella helps in the movement of sperm. It swims in the female reproductive part and it fuses with the egg. So this is the importance of tail. It helps in the movement of sperm. Now we'll be talking about female reproductive organ. So female reproductive organ, we have a vagina here, which is the external part. Then we have cervix. Then we have uterus. It's inside. So these are fallopian tubes. These are 2 fallopian tubes here. And here we have parts. this is ovaries. So we have two pair of ovaries, infundibulum and fimbriae. So you can see this structure. So when egg from our egg travels like this. So from here it goes all the way back inside to there, and from here to it goes in here fundus. So these two things, fimbriae and infundibula, helps in the movement of egg, just like tail was helping the sperm. So these are the importance of infundibulum and fimbriae. So vagina and cervix are the main opening of our female reproductive organ. Uterus is also known as womb, where baby is stored in the case of pregnancy. And we have two layers, endometrium and myometrium. In the menstruation period, um, the endometrium layers collapses and it sheds down. So this endometrium is related to the menstruation. Then we have ligament, where our ovaries are connected to our layer of uterus. So this is about female reproductive organ. Now I'll read about it. The female reproductive organs are we have a pair of ovaries, oviduct and a uterus. Just like in this male reproductive organ, we had a sperm duct, sperms. In case we have pair of ovaries, oviduct are also known as fallopian tubes, and then we have uterus. So ova, or also this is female gametes, are produced by the ovaries. It is the female gamete. Fallopian tubes carry the ova from ovaries to the uterus, just like I mentioned. In this process, fimbriae and infundibulum helps them, and uterus hold the growing embryo or fetus in, so it helps in the pregnancy. Now we'll be talking about egg. So just like sperm, an egg is also a single cell. It has 23 pair of chromosomes. It has a nucleus and a cytoplasm. In human beings, a single matured egg is released into the oviduct by one of the ovaries every month. So this is about menstruation. So every a month, a matured egg is released into the oviduct by the ovaries. So I'll explain this with the help of the video, with the help of the picture which we saw here. So every time an egg is laid here, every month it goes here. So just like I mentioned that this fallopian tubes carries the egg from this ovary part to the uterus part. So this egg may be very small as in humans, much larger in ducks and hens. Ostrich egg is the largest. So you just have to remember what are egg, what is fallopian tubes, fimbriae, infundibulum, uterus, and here is the structure of a egg. So it has nucleus and it has several layers. It has nucleus and cytoplasm. Nucleus and cytoplasm are cell organelles. And we have corona radiata, these are follicular cells, and zona pellucida, these are jelly coat, and cortical granules. So when sperms has acrosomes. So when sperms come and they fuses with the egg, these two layers get fused or gets vanished, and it helps in the safe entry of sperm into the egg. So this is the role of acrosome, zona pellucida, and corona radiata. Now here is an activity plan for you. You have to visit some ponds or slow flowing streams during rainy or spring season. Look out for cluster of frogs eggs floating in the water. Write down the color and size of the eggs. So what you'll notice is you will notice different kinds of eggs and different kinds of frogs. Every frog laying different kinds of eggs. So this is because of the genetic constitution. This is because of our natural biodiversity. You just have to observe and you'll feel very good about it. You'll connect with the nature. So please go and do this activity, and we'll meet soon with the fertilization part. So thank you.